There's millions and millions, especially nowadays with all this pressure, man. You can now bully a motherfucker on your phone. You know, back in our day, it was face to face. You can do everything over your phone. The pressures of trying to keep up with everything is at an all-time high. And our mindsets are at an all-time low. We are the weakest we've been mentally ever since the beginning of time. And it's even harder. So it's harder with a weaker mind. So all I want to do, my whole drive is about, I have a really good way of visualizing people suffering, because a lot of people do it. We have two sides of us. We have one side that is that happy-go-lucky side, that nothing's wrong and everything is good. But we have that side at home when no one's around that's depressed and miserable and we're not good enough. And whatever happened to you is real. So that's my drive. I want to make sure that I give people as much power as I can, so when they get up every morning, they know that, hey, I have the ability to not only survive in this world, but thrive in this world just by the mere fact of hearing about my story. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's jacked up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're going to judge me and I'm going to feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their world better than you have. That's all they've done. So once I realized that, if you want to sit back, like for instance, there's all these things that are on TV, and we have all these news people judging people who f***ed up in life. And yeah, they made big mistakes. But that person who is judging you on TV, I guarantee you that news person is saying, I'm glad that my crap didn't come out, but I'm going to judge the hell out of you. I know that about people. So if you want to sit back and judge how jacked up I was and how messed up my life was, Merry Christmas, go for it. Have a good time. But I'm smiling at you right now, knowing you have a secret that you're not willing to share. It gives you a lot of power when you're able to go on a podcast this big and say, hey, tell me, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I no longer care. And that is a lot of power in that, to be able to put your life on a billboard for the whole world to see and say, judge it, man. Judge it. Like just me talking about it makes me feel good. The biggest thing you have to do is shut off technology. You have to go dark. What I mean by that is you have to be quiet in your mind. Get away from people. We love being around people. We love talking. We love parties. We love all that crap. It's okay to be alone. It's also okay to be unhappy. It's okay to be unhappy sometimes, man. It's okay to say, you know what, man, I'm jacked up. So you gotta go to the truth first. Who are you? Get really accountable and say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out, it may take months, it may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. And then from there, okay, I have my purpose. It may take a long time. No one knows their purpose because it's too loud. Find your purpose. From there, all right, you gotta start planning. People love the planning phase because it's very comfortable. Then from the planning phase, you gotta go to execution. So the execution phase, what we all hate, because that's where the real work begins, and that's when the failure happens, and the failure. So, but you know, that's kind of how you have to do it. I'm fascinated with the guy Free Solo. He's another guy very similar to me, even though I'm not climbing rocks like he did. He has a passion to do something, and he's in at all costs. And what he was doing, what he did, I'm not so impressed with what he did. I'm impressed with how he shut the whole world out when he was doing it. He didn't care about, to me, this is how I see it, and I may be totally off, I'm not trying to speak for him, I don't know him, so let me make that clear. To be able to pull that off, you have to be willing to accept death. You have to be willing to accept you're not gonna see your loved ones anymore. You can't care about your loved ones when you're on that rock. Nothing mattered to him but that rock. Those people fascinate me. Those people who are able to put themselves in a place like that, and very few people understand that. to want something so badly. I'm not saying that, because I don't think he believed that he was going to die. I don't. I believe that he was willing to sacrifice everything to pull that off. Those are the people, and there's very few people like that, who are willing to say, you know what, man, you don't get me, because your feet are nice and firm on the ground, that's where you're going to put them. But for me, there's more to life than that. And for him, that lasted, I don't know, 3-4 hours. I'm not sure how long that took him. I don't know. It took him a while. It's over now. He risked everything for just a few hours on the rock. And I've done that with my own self, with my own personal life. Is I've risked so much, but what he gained and what I've gained in these 3 or 4 hours, in these moments, are something that people will never know, because they've never put themselves on the rock for 3 or 4 hours and put everything on the rock. And that's something that very few people can understand. So they think he's crazy. And those are the people I can't talk to, because it's not craziness. He found something like I found something. I found this. I'm exploring this. He was exploring this. He explored it on the rock. I explored in different venues. Those are the amazing people, that's what I find amazing, who are willing to say, look, honey, I love you, but you have to understand something. I have to go away for a while here. I may not be with you all the time, because it takes 100% focus to pull this off. I need quiet, I need dedication, I need sacrifice from myself. And I need full support, because it's gonna cost everything to do this one thing that takes 3 or 4 hours. That's the dedication I'm looking for. And that's the dedication that does not exist in this world. Does not. No, that's why I do it though. That's the only way to callous your brain, man. That's the only way to get hard in life. People take these classes on mental toughness, like even SEALs, you have the class about visualization, self-talk, eat an elephant one bite at a time, breathing control. Yeah, roger that. You gotta put yourself in a hellacious situation. It's a lifestyle. How are you gonna react? How are you gonna react? Like, all that training goes out the door when you're in the cold water and you're miserable, and it's the first hour of 130 hours of Hell Week, and that first wave goes over your head, and you're the coldest you've been in your life, and your mind goes from hour 1 to hour 130. All that self-talk, dude, you ain't thinking about that. You think about getting out of here. But if you live this on a daily basis and you know how to calm your mind down, the self-talk will help. All that stuff will help. But usually we react. We have pain, we have suffering, we react, and we react about, get out of here. We gotta go. It's those people who are able to control that feeling of flight and say, no, there's a way through this. It's not gonna be here forever. I'm not cold right now. I went through 3 of them. I'm not cold now. I'm in a nice warm studio with you. You gotta think about that. The shit's gonna end. It's gonna end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's gonna last forever. And then you get to sit back on Friday with everybody walking across the, back on the grinder, all the 16, 17, 18 guys that graduated Hell Week, and you get a chance to watch these guys victorious. And then you get the chance to think about that. You take that hot, warm shower, first thing that comes to your mind is, why did I quit? So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of quitting. And it's a lifetime of thinking about, why did I do that?